Welcome back, Bad Day HQers. Tyler here. Throughout history, our planet has suffered countless disasters. From devastating earthquakes to horrifying hurricanes, the Earth has endured it all. In this video, we're focusing on the fiercest fires of our history. While there have been many blazing behemoths that have scorched cities, forests, and empires, in this top 10, we are focusing on those fires that took the most lives and caused the most destruction. If you have more fires that we may have missed, post them in the comments below. Number 10. The Black Saturday Bushfires. Saturday, February 7th, 2009. The Black Saturday Bushfires were a series of fires that burned across the Australian state of Victoria. There are 173 direct identified fatalities. This figure was later increased to 180 fatalities after several people succumbed to their injuries. As many as 400 individual fires were recorded that Saturday. Following the events of that horrifying day and its aftermath, that day has become widely referred to in Australia as Black Saturday. Number 9. The Great Hinckley Fire. The Great Hinckley Fire began in the pine forests of Minnesota, September 1984, which burned an area of more than 250,000 acres, including the town of Hinckley. The official death count was 418. The actual number of fatalities was likely higher due to the intensity of the blaze. Number 8. Texas City Explosion. Industrial disaster sparked by the fire and explosion of the SS Grand Camp on April 16 and 17, 1947, in Texas City, Texas. The ship's cargo of approximately 2,200 tons of ammonium nitrate detonated, setting off a chain of fires, as well as a 15-foot tidal wave. Between 400 and 600 people were killed, with as many as 4,000 injured. The disaster triggered the first ever class action lawsuit against the United States government. Number 7. The Iroquois Theater Fire in Chicago. The Iroquois Theater Fire happened December 30th, 1903. It was the deadliest single-building fire in United States history, resulting in at least 602 deaths. The show that was playing was the popular Drury Lane musical, Mr. Bluebeard. It is a burlesque of the traditional Bluebeard folktale, featuring Dan McAvoy as the titular player. Sparks from an arc light ignited a curtain. As the curtain went up in flames, patrons panicked, crushing and trampling others in a desperate attempt to escape from the fire. It was a truly horrifying scene. Number 6. Halifax, Nova Scotia. Nearly 2,000 people died, 1,950 confirmed, and another 9,000 people were maimed or blinded, and more than 25,000 were left without adequate shelter. This was one of the largest ever human-made explosions. December 6, 1917, 2 ships collided in the city's harbor. One of them, a munitions ship, loaded with explosives. The explosion created a giant fireball that was invisible during the daylight, thus creating a terrifying atmosphere for the residents near the disaster. Those that weren't killed by the initial forceful blast were burned alive, as many of the homes in the area at that time were made solely of very, very flammable wood. Number 5. The Peshtigo Fire began in the forest, where it was common practice amongst Midwesterners to start small fires in order to clear trees for farming and railroads. However, on October 8, 1871, strong winds moving in from the west fueled the flames and caused them to spread to the town of Peshtigo, turning the innocuous fires into a raging and deadly firestorm. When the flames eventually died out, the fire had consumed 1,875 square miles, obliterated 12 communities, and caused the deaths of between 1,500 and 2,500 people. Number 4. London, 1212. Also known as the Great Fire of Suthwark. This fire began July 10th, 1212, in Suthwark. The earliest account of this blaze appears in the Book on Ancient Laws, also known as the Liber de Antiquis Legibus, composed in 1274. This states, in this year was the Great Fire of Suthwark, and it burned the Church of St. Mary, as also the bridge, with the chapel there, and the great part of the city. Some estimates put the number of people killed on the London Bridge alone at 3,000, and this figure also appears in the Guinness Book of World Records. Number 3. San Francisco. A major earthquake with a magnitude of 7.9 that occurred on April 18, 1906 at 5:12 in the morning off the northern California coast. The quake was followed by a massive fire that swept from the business section near Montgomery Street and the south of Market District toward Russian Hill, Chinatown, North Beach, and Telegraph Hill. The blaze continued for 4 days, destroying some 28,000 buildings, and the total property value loss was estimated at a whopping $350 million. Some 700 people originally were thought to have died in the disaster, but the death toll is now believed to have exceeded 3,000, which is why this disaster ranks at number 3 on our list. Number 2. The Great Fire of Mireki. March 2nd, 1657. Edo, Japan, now modern-day Tokyo. It is said that the fires caused during this disaster is mostly due to environmental factors. However, people believe that there was almost certainly human error involved. The fire was fanned by hurricane-force winds, feeding the flames for 3 straight days. For these 3 long straight days, the fires burned up everything in their paths. The fires took the lives of over 100,000 people and is considered to be one of the worst fires in human history. Number 1. September 1st, 1923, Yokohama, Japan. A massive earthquake strikes the coast of Japan, resulting in jarring shocks that sent residents flying, and the ensuing tsunami, with waves of over 40 feet, swallowed all in its path. As horrifying as these first 2 events were, it was the fires that broke out shortly after, during all the mayhem, that caused the most death. Fueled by wooden buildings and high winds, these fires spread quickly and without mercy. When the blazes hit the Capitol building in the infamous fire known as the Dragon's Twist, over 44,000 people were killed. The overall death count reached roughly 140,000 people as the flames tore through 2 of Japan's largest cities and traumatized a nation that was already in a politically charged situation. If you have any more fires that you think we may have missed, put them in the comments below. I'll be reading and replying. And those of you in the US and UK, we have an Amazon Direct channel for more documentaries and docuseries. Links in the description below. See you next time.